We have been traveling the rich fertile lands of Kenya, far and wide, across the highlands and lowlands of this beautiful country, talking to farmers wherever we go.
We want to give them the help and knowledge they need to improve their farming methods,
increase their income, and turn around their farms into good business for the future.
Join us and our experts on this journey and share their families' experiences as they make the changes.
Karibu to Shamba Shape Up Safari. Naomi, we visited so many farms.
That's true. And I think we should revisit some of these farms and see how the farmers are doing.
That's an excellent idea. Let's do that.
Right.
We are on the road revisiting some of the shambas we have shaped up and to see how the farmers are getting on. The first place we landed was at this farm. Do you remember Evans?
Mwea Rice Scheme is famous for its rice productions in Kenya since 1956. We found a farmer who is struggling and needs some expert advice, so let's meet him and his mom Agnes.
What problems are you going through in your rice farming?
There are several problems that I'm going through. One is production of rice farming is very high.
Oh, very expensive.
Very expensive.
Right.
Secondary, lack of enough water to irrigate.
And rice needs lots and lots of water.
Yes. Thirdly, lack of clean water to drink.
If you can manage your rice paddies well, it can be a profitable business. But rice production isn't easy, nor is working in these rice paddies.
So Joseph, what's the next step from here?
The next step from here now is transplanting. So I'm going to show Evans the best methods of transplanting SRI.
What are the main basic points that we should take care of first?
We need first of all to check whether the field is well leveled. Then once we are certain that it's leveled, we mark 25 centimeters by 25 centimeters spacing.
That is spacing?
Yes.
25 by?
By 25.
By 25.
Yes. We can either use a camber or maybe a grade marker depending with what is available. Then from there now, we transplant young seedlings, which should be not more than 14 days old.
And how fast should you transplant the young seedlings?
Within 30 minutes.
Why?
Because if you leave it, once you uproot the seedling from the nursery, then you keep it for a long time, it can even die.
Oh, so it should be done before 30 minutes
Before 30
over.
minutes at least.
Wow, I think that's something we can do. And I think we've got everything we need. So we are ready to plant, aren't we?
Yes, we
Evans, you ready to try the SRI?
Yes.
Let's go ahead and do it then.
Okay, welcome.
All right.
A straight line is marked with a string. One seedling is planted every 25 centimeters. This ensures each plant gets more sunlight, air, and nutrients, allowing faster growth of roots and stronger stalks. Plant each row 25 centimeters apart to form a grid. Continuous flooding is not needed, thus saving water, but it must remain moist. It has been proved that more oxygen in the soil leads to healthier plants and better grain.
We find Evans very busy in the farm.
Evans goes on to explain to us that he's now planting more rice on 3 acres of his farm. We find out that Evans' rice is doing very well, and so are his vegetables.
Evans, we are very happy to be here, and as I can see, you are very, very busy, which is very, very encouraging. Now tell me, how has it been since last time we were here?
I have been watching what we did with you and what you told me how to do, and I'm very grateful because you introduced the new system of growing rice. Now I harvested the crop, and now I'm preparing the nursery to adapt the system fully.
Now tell me, what do you find the difference between the SRI and the old conventional method?
With SRI, we use race seeds. Let us say, for example, 1 acre, SRI uses 2.5 kg, but the old one, the conventional one, we use 40 kg. Wow. The SRI use less water than the convection one.
So Evans, how has the results been from what you are getting before from the conventional method and what you are getting now? Production.
Let me say about the production. The tearing of SRI are many than the convection ones. So I myself, as a farmer of growing rice in Moya, I am adapting the system Fure because the yield is high than the convection one.
How high?
The SRI system increases the yield by 50%. Let us say, for example, 1 acre convection yield, we get 18 to 20 convection. But the SRI, we get 30 to 35 bucks.
Wow, that's big.
Yes.
That's a huge difference.
There is a huge difference.
So what about the inputs? Like how much fertilizer are you using?
We use less fertilizer than the convection one. But what is needed most is the manure. Manure is most needed in large quantity.
In every new system, there are always challenges. So what kind of challenges are you facing now using the SRI?
One, because it is wetting and drying, winds are growing at a very high speed. And I don't have the rotary winders that are normally used to wind along the lines.
Yes. So now you want to go into the system fully.
Fury.
We are very happy. We are very happy.
Thank you.
Well done, Evans.
Thank you.
Well done.
Thank you.
You are truly shaped up.
After listening to Evans' challenges about the weeds, Tony and I decided to do a little harambe for him together with the Shamba Shaper crew.
And there he has it, a second-hand rotary weeder to help him get rid of all the weeds.
Our next stop was on this farm. Do you remember them?
The Kinyo family are Cyprian, age 9, Godwin, age 18, and Patricia, age 19.
And Mom and Dad, Lucy and James. Well, Lucy, we've been to see your beehive and it does need a shape-up.
Yes.
What's the problem?
The biggest problem is the predators, especially the honey badger. It must harvest almost the whole honey and get very little.
Oh, anyway, what's your other problem?
The other problem I have is the chicken house. It is small and I have many chickens.
James, you're in your shamba today. How can we help you?
My main problem in my shamba, one, I start with coffee.
Production is low.
Production is very low.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
And what else?
The second problem is that my shamba is robbie. So I'll need some advice on that so that I can blue.
So you're also having problem with soil erosion.
Exactly.
Oh, we've got experts ready.
Thank you.
And they will assist you to make sure that your shamba is shaped up.
This is the right place.
This is the right place, I think. Hey, Lucy and James.
How are you?
Good to see you. Lucy, James, I mean, for a moment there I thought I was lost. What's been going on?
Oh, yes. Since you left,
Yes.
we have been trying to catch up with the shaping up that we were taught. Yes.
And how has it been, Lucy?
From the beehives, I've collected some money. Na kutoka kwa hiyo pesa, I've built a poultry house, broilers.
Before, Lucy was having problems with her bees. Lucy has been beekeeping for nearly 4 years and has 4 beehives. The honey harvested from the moonflower and bananas is sweeter than any other honey, which is good. However, the hives are in a bad shape and there are other problems. So, we got the help of James from Isipe. He really knows about bees.
My most problem is the honey badger. It has really disturbed me. It harvests almost all the honey in the hives. I get very little and I need that honey.
What other pests do you have?
The other pest I come across are the ants. And they also disturb me. Because once they get inside, then the bees disappear.
Have you tried any control measures with the honey badger?
what I have tried to tighten the hives with a string, with a rope, and a strong rope.
Okay.
But they still, especially the KTBH, they still demolish everything and get the honey. Yes.
And for the ants?
I have tried to seal the posts with a polythene paper, but they still cry.
They invade the hives.
I don't have even any other knowledge.
So don't worry, Lucy. James will give you a solution.
Okay.
But Shamba Shape Up is here to improve that and make Lucy a better beekeeper. A good location in some shade is found on the Shamba for the new bee house. And Caris, James and team start building. Lucy, this is your bee house. What do you think of it?
Wow, it looks good.
All in all, what you're supposed to do, you're supposed to keep the bee house clean, and also you do the regular checkup of the hives.
How often do I need to do the checkup?
Since you got some bee suits and the smoker, you can be checking the performance of the queen and the hives once a week. And also you make sure you provide your bees with some water.
Do bees need water?
Yes, that's why we put some gutters around. At least when it's raining, she can harvest rainwater, as well as she can get some more water to plant some flowers around the apiary to get more pollination.
Are my hives now protected from predators?
Yes, they are. With the new method of suspending hives, I'm sure they are safe. As well as what we've done, we've applied some grease on the stands so that the ants doesn't climb up. Also, if you have farmyard geese allowed, they can chase away the honey badgers.
Oh, the geese act like watchdogs.
Yeah, exactly.
Good. Now, Lucy, it's up to you. Take care of your beehives, and I hope very soon you'll be harvesting lots and lots of honey. With only 4 hives and honey badgers stealing a lot of the honey, Lucy was harvesting about 108 kilograms per year. Now with 14 hives and the honey protected, she could be harvesting around 300 kilograms a year, which will make profits of about 200,000 shillings. Wow! Now, let's see how the hives are doing. Now, let's get down to business. Before, how much honey were you making from your bees?
Before, there was a problem of the honey badger. So I could not collect honey. We were competing with it. And I was just getting a little for my own consumption. But now, I make effort of selling. About 3 hives, I've made around 20,500 from the 3 hives so far. That is 2 harvestings. And now the 20,500 plus pesa ya kuku pia, I've also made some money. Every 42 days I make some money. And not only that, I now have good manure from the cuckoos,
Right.
which now I planted the coffee.
Aha.
Yes.
Wow.
So I
That's
have
clever.
really moved.
Now she's getting almost double the amount she was getting before. And that is very good business. James, any other progress?
Yes. As you have been told, we are a step ahead. And the coffee plants that we planted, at least it has done well, 100%. Yeah. So for the avocado, I just roasted 3 of them. Out of 20, 17 are
But the 17 are there.
Yeah. 17 are doing well.
So did you move the chickens from here to the new house?
Yeah, always from the brooder to the new house.
And how are the chickens doing?
They are not now dying. Because I found that the knowledge of Patrick and the brooder he showed me. I always clean, once I put chicks, after removing, I always clean it.
Before, Lucy was having problems with her chicken. The chicken's unit has some problems, and Patrick from Kenchick has come to have an inspection.
Well, Patrick, what do you think?
Well, I have inspected the units, and I think there are a couple of things that we need to improve on. To start with, the chicken house doesn't have good ventilation
Right.
because the back is closed. They also have birds of different ages in the same house. Some are 2 weeks, some are 4 weeks. I've also checked the equipment. She has some improvised jerry cans,
Right.
so water is not very clean. And also the wooden troughs. The feed is also not clean.
Right.
So there is also so much cobwebs on the wire mesh and also on the roof. So we also need to work on hygiene.
Right. So it's hygiene and ventilation. But why are they dying?
When you put birds of different ages in the same house, especially the chicks, it means when the chicks come, because of the litter from the old birds, there is already contamination. They're also so much congested.
Lucy has 200 chickens. The unit measures 9 by 10 feet. These should only house 100 chickens. First of all, the chickens must be taken out. The unit needs to be rebuilt to provide better ventilation and must be cleaned to improve the hygiene. The chicken unit has been rebuilt with more ventilation. Now, it must be swept clean and mopped with disinfectant. Next, clean wood shavings are put on the floor. Now, Cyprian and Lucy here have been working very hard on the chicken shed. What do you think?
Wow, the chicken shed now looks a lot better. There is good ventilation. It's clean. And also I can see the new feeders and drinkers.
With Lucy having improved on her chicken housing, we decided to bring in Cynthia, an expert from Cambridge, to have a look and give her more advice. So Lucy, this is Cynthia. She's the expert I've just been telling you about.
Okay, pleasure to meet you.
Yes. Now, Cynthia, what do you have to tell Lucy?
I can see, as I've looked around, I can see you've done a really good job, and I'm actually impressed. This is rare, and one of the things that I've noticed is you have a foot bath.
Yes.
But there are a few changes here and there that you can make to improve your farm, and like your chicken production and less illnesses, avoid in cases of using drugs, avoid cases where your eggs are low, your chicken are, before they come to age, they're low weight. You understand?
Yes.
Basically what I'm trying to say is there are things that you can do to improve your production level and minimize loss.
Yes.
One of the things is, you see about your foot bath. The problem with your foot bath is it is below the surface, so that when it rains, all the germs from the farm and everywhere else can get into the foot bath. So it actually makes no sense for you to put disinfectant in the foot bath, yet other contaminants are still coming in. So if you can raise your foot bath just to a few inches above the ground, and then change the water, make a drainage system where you can drain your water. And then another thing, make sure you make proper ventilation for your chicken. You dust the hole so that germs stick everywhere, every corner, on the floor, on the walls, on the roof, just to minimize, keep the area clean, well ventilated. And as you said, when you're bringing in your new stock, make sure you clean the area.
Yes.
Yeah, make sure you clean the area, you disinfect, as I heard you just said you use chick. You disinfect your area, that is effective. You disinfect, then you bring in the new stock.
Now, Lucy, what do you do when your chickens get sick?
Sometimes there are friends of mine who also their chicks. I ask them what they do when their chicks are sick. And when they give me the names of the antibiotics they buy, I just buy and come and give.
You go to the agrovet and you get the antibiotic that is
Yes.
recommended by some of your friends.
Yes.
Is that right, Cynthia?
Actually, that's where the problem comes in. Because you realize when you do this, you're not very sure about the exact disease that your chicken is suffering from. Your chicken might be suffering from Salmonella typhi or something different. And it is actually experiencing the same symptoms as the chicken, but it is not the same bacteria. So when you use the same antibiotic that your friend used, and it is not effective to this bacteria, you're building up resistance. The bacteria gets used because it is not susceptible to this particular antibiotic that you're treating it with. It is not the proper drug. So in cases where the chicken is ill and is supposed to be treated with that drug, it has already developed resistance. So it cannot be treated actually. And when you eat that chicken, danger comes to you, your family, and whoever you're selling the chicken to, and even the eggs. Because then they have the resistance strain. The same bacteria is the one that will infect you. And when you try to get treated, you also have resistance.
What should I do when the chicken are sick?
What you're supposed to do is quarantine it, remove it from the rest of the chicken. If you see like the feathers, it's quiet, you know how chickens behave and you know different behaviors.
Yes.
You remove it from the rest of the stock, keep it away, then go see your vet, then get advice, explain the symptoms, because there's a place where you buy medicine.
Yes.
Go explain the symptoms, establish the disease, and if need be, your veterinary will come and check out the chicken, maybe collect samples or something if it is serious, and treat it. Establish first the disease. When you continue doing this, exposing your chicken to antibiotics, you're continuing building up resistance. And this resistance will be eventually transferred to yourself and your family.
And the customer.
And the customer.
So Cynthia, you're saying with good management,
yes. When you keep good ventilation, good foot baths, you rarely need to have to use antibiotics. And you lower the cost of the input that you put on your chicken, the cost of medication. You realize there's so much that you save on. And by the end of the day, you raise your levels of production and you bring up a healthy farm, and even your family and the customers, everyone is healthy and everyone is happy. And all in all, minimize the risk of antibiotic resistance.
So, if you have a food dip in front of the building, clean and efficient water dispensers and feed containers, and proper ventilation, your chickens will be much healthier. This means your cost will remain low, and you will have healthy chickens and a healthy family that will not be resistant to antibiotics.
Thank you so much, Cynthia, for the information. And I'm sure if our farmers follow your instructions, soon they're going to have very, very healthy chickens.
And by using the new Easy Life G-Co, Lucy has managed to save on her firewood.
And what about the future plans? You build another poultry house?
Yes.
From the money from the
bees.
Wow, that's wonderful.
Yes. And now, since I go for the 2 days per crop of cuckoos, the broilers,
yes,
I've tried to renovate my house from wood to stone house.
That's the difference I was seeing.
So, Lucy has been able to build a new stone house from the money she gets from selling her chickens. And doesn't it look wonderful?
And there you have it. You too can have a successful business from your shamba. That's all we've got time for on this series of Shamba Shape Up. Thank you so much for watching. Shamba Shape Up is online. To learn more about today's topics or to watch any of our previous episodes, visit shambashapeup.com, select the episode and click play. You could also visit our Facebook page, Shamba Shape Up, to get more information, get involved in discussions, and also get a chance to enter some of our great competition to win great prizes. You can also find us on Twitter @Shamba Shape Up.